Alright, NoGoodGamer here. Welcome back for episode 6 of Stone Block 4. So today we're going to be working on enchanting. At least getting a decent amount of it up and going so we can get some basic enchants up on our armor and our weapons, some of our tools. And also I kind of want to get a bow going so I can get this fancy little set of bows you see behind me. I can get that to actually work. Because that's a bonus I get from shooting a bow. It kind of shoots with me, and I've already gotten it leveled up to the point where its quality is at max, but I need to level up its ability now, and the fastest way to do that is to just shoot things. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So, believe it or not, my number one thing that I start with in this pack so far when I decide to get into enchanting isn't just enchanting. Like, obviously you need the enchanting table, and you're gonna need some tables, but the first thing I get into is actually fishing. And it's not for the reason that you're probably thinking. Like, I'm not trying to fish up enchanted books or anything. The reason I'm doing this is because part of the quest we need to do when we go to here, so we're going to need to get an enchanting table, and then we need to get one of these. And sea shelf, in my opinion, is the easier one to get because it's just a shelf, some prismarine bricks, water bottles, and pufferfish. And the funny thing is getting pufferfish, I don't have to fish up actual pufferfish. See, you can turn any other fish that you fish up into a pufferfish. Now, hell shelves require me to get potion of regeneration, and unfortunately that's a little bit locked right now because I need gas tiers. I could go do a run into the nether zone and hope I find some out of a chest somewhere because I haven't found any actual ghasts. But also later game for the gas tiers, we can get those from chickens. But the problem is it's a tier 6 chicken, and that's a little far away for, as far as materials are concerned, to get the higher level chickens. That's why we've only done a basic start so far. Now, like I said, I'm going to be going for this. Now, the prismarine bricks is not going to be an issue because prismarine shards we can get from haunting lapis. And in that last run that I did out into the nether, we already got ourselves some soul sand, so all I gotta do is set up a pretty basic haunting setup and then start throwing some lapis into that, and we'll get some prismarine shards pretty easily. Now, as far as the fishing is set up, I actually already set myself up a little fishing cove. I did a it's 10 long, 5 wide, 5 deep. And I used one of my handy fluid tank buckets, or fluid tanks turned into bucket mode to go around filling the edge to get every layer going. It took about like 30 buckets. But with this, I can fish pretty easily, and all I need is just any kind of fish. I'm not worried about getting anything enchanted. I'm not worried about getting other rods. I'm not worried about any of that. I mean, pufferfish themselves, if I get those automatically, that's nice. But generally speaking, I'm going to be doing this for a little bit and building up my fish. Which right now they're going into my backpack because I have it on pickup. But we'll come back here in a little bit. Oh, I got one potion of regeneration. That's actually kind of funny. I may actually build one hell shelf. But we'll come back when I'm done fishing up what I need, and we can start building our little haunting station. Alright, now that we've got the fish that I need, I wanted to be able to make 6 of these, so I've got 5 between here, and then this will make 6. I'm going to go ahead and get together the bamboo that I need. That might have been enough already, but I have these sitting on snad because I was thinking that you could use it the same way you do the sugarcane, but it doesn't work that way. You just have to crouch, just squat grow it. But as long as you give it space, you can get a pretty decent amount out of it. that, I can come into here. And let me turn off my magnet because I keep picking up the cactus. Go to pufferfish. And we'll go 3 from there, 2 from there, and then that one. And now I just need 6 water bottles, which will be pretty easy because I have bottles already sorted in. And I think it's not over here. Right, there it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we are. And I've already got a decent amount of bookshelves crafted in preparation for things like this. Now the issue is I need prismarine. And like I said, we're going to need to haunt some lapis for this. So now let's see if I can get... Not that fan. There it is. I'll go ahead and mark that, because make one of these. And just like that, I had all the materials already. So now I can grab that. Get one of my electric engines out, or electric motors. And then, since we have power downstairs, it'll actually be easiest if I do my haunting stuff down here, since it is a material creation type deal. Doesn't bother me whatsoever to go ahead and get a spot started and set up here. Get some light up in here. And I believe it's going under right here, so... No, right on that side, okay. Either way. I just needed to get over here. Because I'm just going to stick that here. We'll put that guy on there. Pretty sure it needs to go that direction. And do I have any cables on me? I do not. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. That up, and is it going the right direction? No, it is not. So I was wrong with which direction I needed to go. That way. That works. And then cover these up so I don't fall in any holes. Come back up here. Grab 1 soul sand. I don't think I have a flint and steel, so I do not. And in this, you can actually make flint with gravel. It's not like when you play a create pack where everything you do creates more flint. Just like that, we have a haunting setup. I could take it a step further and make it to where it's like sorted out and everything, but for right now, I'm just gonna... Ooh. There we are. I wanted to make sure I get a good chunk of this, because it does take 9 for just 1 prismarine block. So then I'll just aim right here, Control Q, dumps a whole stack, and let those be haunted. And just like that, it all haunts, and I get an achievement from it. I'll just turn on my magnet. And some of it gets turned into crystals. That's the other reason why we wanted to get a lot of that in there. And let me go make sure I get this sorted into the system. I'm gonna need more drawers. But these two. One on here. And with all that, we can now make those. And I was able to make 4 seashells. I wasn't able to make all of them. Also gonna need an enchanting table. And just like that, we've got 2 of the things completed. And now I need to infuse one of these seashells, which is gonna be the next issue. But we're gonna start off with putting our table down. And then I'm gonna do a pattern like that. And I think I'll do like that. Now this may seem strange because especially right now I'm only getting like half of them on here. But with the way that apotheosis works in this, I can increase its range. So I'm going to grab some of these, and I want to say what, I'm trying to remember what the other thing was, but there's 3 of them. This one, yeah, this one makes it go wider. This one makes it go taller. So I'll make sure that goes to at least 7. See, now we're actually getting the 30. So with this, it actually reaches up high enough. It goes up to 7 tall, and it goes to 5 in one of the directions. I can't tell which one, but I need to look up real quick. Modifiers, here we go. So is this for width, that for height? Oh, it was the lapis blocks. I just want to get at least 1 or 2 of those in there. Put those away now. And you just shift right click it onto the table. So now I can, oh, I only want 1. So that way I know for sure I get this whole ring. So now I'm just gonna kind of stack up my new fancy ones. Like right now I have these ones. Kind of just stick around. Gets us up to 42, 15, and 12. And I think, let me see. 39. How much do I need for infusing? Let me see. 45, 15, 10. So then I actually need these. This is why I wanted 6. Because this basically almost gives me exactly what I need right here. So I believe I should be able to put 1 more of these down. There's my 45, and then this one, I need to make sure I get some experience. So I'm gonna go ahead and, or no, let me retrieve. I'm gonna get like 60 levels, I think that'll work. Come into here, oh yeah. Luckily I have that block on me, I'm gonna need a little bit of lapis for this. And boom, just like that, we have infused our sea shelf. And now that we've done that, we can actually do this. So I can pop that one off, replace it with this, infuse another one. And we can rinse and repeat this. Because these, so okay, so the way that enchanting works in here. So you see how on, like when you play vanilla Minecraft, if you were, I would say a veteran, I guess, somebody who gets far enough in regular Minecraft all the time that you get to the point of doing mass enchantments, you understand that you have to use 15 bookshelves to max out on your enchanting. But there's generally no real tooltip. In this, you have your three things, your Eterna, Quanta, and Arcana. They all do something different. Eterna is your basic enchanting power. That has to do with how many levels it's going to take to enchant. It also increases just how powerful the enchants are in general. Quanta makes your enchantments a lot more random, but also increases how many enchantments you can have at once. Arcana makes your enchantments have a higher chance to have higher levels. And then Enchanting Clues lets you see more of the enchantments when you do like a book in here, or if you throw anything in and you have like, it'll give you like 5 enchantments. Sometimes you know how like normally it would give you like 1 enchantment and then you'll get like 4 question marks. Well, when you have enough clues, you can see everything you're going to get. So the reason I say it makes it easier is see how I'm looking at these basic shelves. You get 2 per and a max of 30, which easily equals out to 15 shelves. Now when you look at these ones, the infused shelves, they go up to a max of 60, which means I can add these in until I get to 60 on here, which I'm only at 49 so far. The regular C shelves only go up to a 45, which was why I needed that at a minimum to get to the point of making the infused C shelves, and you needed to make more so you can do that. It's one of the reasons why it kind of wants you to go both directions, but you don't necessarily need to, as long as you go with whichever direction you feel is easiest. If you happen to have stumbled upon some stuff, I must have got rid of, I got rid of a little bit too much. Yeah, if you happen to stumble upon a couple like loot chests out in the nether zone and get yourself some gas tiers early, then you can go the Hell Shelf route. They get, not necessarily, I wouldn't say more resources, or they don't give you like more enchanting, but it is definitely a different variety. I will be getting them later once I have the availability. Alright. Almost done swapping all the regular sea shelves now. Ah, that's what I was trying not to do. Good thing is these are not like regular shelves. They don't just like blow apart into books when you break them. So now we're up to 50. Got 2 more seashells I can infuse. Oop, I need a little more experience now. Go up to 68 just cause I like to stand on top of this bookshelf. Fuse that one. Now we've got infused, 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 and I'll put one more infused. And let me see. Where do I want to put this last one? No, I'll just stick it right there. And like that, we are now up to 60 Eterna, 15 Quanta, and 30 Arcana. And that is actually enough for us to get some pretty decent basic enchants. Let's see. Fire Protection 5 is a good one. Yeah, Protection 5, Fire Protection 5, and Mana Regen 4. Mana I'm not super worried about. But for now, this at least gets me some stuff going. Yeah, see, with just this little bit of setup, which honestly didn't take long, I ended up... So, in the process of recording this, I'm only 30 minutes in from the very beginning intro. And I had at least 5 to 10 minutes of this where I was just standing around because I was letting something cook, or I was doing something while letting something cook, and I ended up going over the timer. Like, it was basically done before I even came back to it, and I was just wasting time. Oop, I need to get a little more experience. See, here in a minute, I'm going to set up a little trick that makes this part way easier. Dang, look at all that. And this is all just basic enchants right now. There's so much more we can do with this. But I'm gonna settle for now. Okay, so here's an issue. That knowledge of the ages. I don't care for that, because what that does is that you don't get any item drops off anything you kill with this weapon, you just get experience. Which, if that's all you're going for, then it's cool to have one weapon that's actually enchanted this way. Because it does convert well and you get quite a bit of experience. However, for my main weapon, I am not trying to automatically go with just getting rid of my drops. I usually want to go for something looting, you know? But unfortunately, I didn't get any looting on this one. I do have that one looting 8 book, but I am not going to use that on any of this. I'm going to wait until I get my at least mid-tier weaponry. But with that, we completed that portion, and that pushes us into going to make deep shelves. Now, deep shelves require 60, 40, and 40. Now, we already hit that 60 point as we saw, but we're only at 15 and 30. Now, the way this enchanting process works is, again, still pretty easy. If you want to figure out what you need for that, right now we need Quanta, and we need, what was it, Quanta and Arcana. So all you got to do is go into your JEI, and I'll say Quanta first. Now, everything that's in this list is what will give us Quanta. Now, regular deep shelf, what we're actually working on, gives us Quanta. Now see, here's the interesting thing. A regular hell shelf gives Quanta, as opposed to you having to go into crystalline sea shelf to be able to make Quanta come from this side. But the good thing is I believe these are made just with infused. Yeah, that and those prismarine crystals that we got earlier. So we can actually just take down some of our infused sea shelves and swap them for crystalline. And we'll immediately boost our Quanta with that. Because we don't have any right now with that. Now that we have those back, push over to the crystalline seashells, and I'm going to go ahead and just turn all 6 of those into it. That gives us some more unlocks and upgrades, but most importantly, you know, I want to stick this one right here. Why are we down to 40 Eterna? Oh, that was weird. It was like I blocked that one, and then the one that I put in front of it just didn't count. So I guess be careful about how you place things. But yeah, that's a good way to check it though. Place things and look at it to make sure you're getting the proper values that you're looking for. But see, that wasn't perfect, but we did increase our Quanta up to 33% now. So we are only 7% away and then 10% away. So now we're going to go back into here. And it looks like an easy way to get Quanta would be to get skulls. Just any kind of mob skull. However, you know, whether skeleton skulls give 10% Quanta. So if we had 1 or 2 of these bad boys in here, I think we'd be pretty good. It's starting to look like I may need to just run to the nether zone either way. And you see some of these actually will reduce Quanta and Arcana, which right now is not a big deal, but later on down the road, there is a huge reason to do that, because certain things that you need to infuse and make require to have like very high Eterna values, but having like almost nothing in Quanta. It's kind of difficult to get things set up properly for that. But I think we'll go ahead and make our end shelves. Let me go ahead and look up shelf, and then we need to start off with these dormant ones, which looks like I need to get cracked deep slate tiles, which means I need to get deep slate tiles. Yeah, we got some of that going. Oh, it looks like we ran out of books. I should have plenty of materials for that. Oh. You're kidding. I just need to make more paper. Do that. And then stick all that back in the system because I have a drawer for paper. Make some books. Nearly 3 stacks will do. Throw those back in. And then dormant deep shelf yet again. I'll make a total of 10. Because these on their own are not going to do us any good. We need to infuse them, but to infuse them to make a deep shelf, we need 60, 40, 40, and we're just a little bit short. But we have the things that we need to push forward. Now next, to make this easy, since we already looked up Quanta, we can look up the Arcana. And as you see, there's a lot of things that give us Arcana that aren't, that are not bookshelves. So we can get some candles put together to help increase that, and those are pretty easy. That's just wax and string. I've been getting random free wax all over the place from these loot Vs. There's also random other little things that help, but mostly candles. Candles and then certain bookshelves. These stack 4 at a time for a spot. And I don't believe I'll be able to get anything more out of these any higher than doing that, which that perfectly puts us right at 40. Now we need to figure out that Quanta issue. As a side note, as I was saying earlier, there is a handy little thing that you can do to help you with your enchanting and when it comes to levels. So those experience collectors, or the experience holder from Just Air things, if you use one of these, and I'm going to go ahead and do this, we'll go, for the way I want to do it, we'll go up 1, okay, so it's there. So I want it to be directly on top of this. And what you do is you can turn it on owner only, and you can have it to set, I want to be level 70 all the time if I'm standing on here. So then what I did, it already took all my experience, because you saw that it had me set at 0 initially. Oh my gosh. Where did you come from? Oh my god, he zombified my traders. Where the heck did he come from? I'm super confused. It's not the first one I've seen, too. I don't know what's happening. What you can do is control click on there, receive all the levels. That's 400 levels. But if I come over here and store levels, now with that saying level 70 and having that the spot, when I jump on here, it'll put me right to level 70. So I can stay in here and keep enchanting, and as I lose experience, it'll just keep giving it back to me and keep me at level 70. And I like to put it in a spot that you kind of have to go out of your way to get onto for this to work. Otherwise, you're just going to randomly gain experience when you get a little too close to your enchanting setup. But now that I know where that's going to be going, I can turn that off. And now I'm going to get to enchanting, and we'll be back in just a minute. So I'm getting a little bit into the cognition mod. So to get into this, you need to make some cognitive flux to start with. It's kind of the base of everything in it. There's a mix of lapis, nether quartz, and soul sand. And then you cook this up to get the materials out of it that you use, which are these cognitive amalgam. Now these I'm just going to stick over here in a quarter drawer. But the reason I'm going for this is because within cognition there is these things called precision dispellers. It allows you to remove specific enchantments from whatever you have, and it doesn't do any damage to the component. And with these 3 components, you make your precision dispeller. I'm going to stick that right over here. Now, this is the sword that I ended up landing on. Sharpness 6, sweeping 4, fire aspect 3, knockback 3, looting 5, unbreaking 4, capturing 4, reaper 6, and rift disruptor 7. Whew, that is a mouthful. But basically this was a 7 attack weapon, which now does 10.5, 14.8. Yeah, does a bit more damage so far. For basically a vanilla weapon. It's pretty good. But now what I need to do is turn this over to here and see if I can get some mob heads. And we'll come back if it's a yes or no. So as it turns out, my weapon is pretty strong, but I wasn't getting any mob heads. I got a few mob souls, and I got some spawn eggs. Because with capturing that I have on here has a fraction of a percent of a chance, or like it's like 0.5% per level of it. Basically I have a chance to get their spawn eggs. So I'm getting some free spawn eggs out of this. That's kind of cool. But other than that, yeah, I just got some chip gems. I didn't get any heads, so I think my alternative is I'm just gonna end up having to run to the nether. And right now I have I have 4 teleporters set up in here that I bought from the traveling merchants. But I have all of them set right now to the nether ring and the same direction that they are pointed right now. So I haven't gone west yet. I think I'm gonna go west and see if I can find another dungeon zone that I can try to find a wither skeleton spawner. Whoa. Looks like I'm basically right in one right now. At 144, I'm at 131, so it's basically just like right up there. Yeah, stuff is just straight up spawning in here too. That's crazy. Whoa, he's already ready to shoot at me. Where's my... I need light. I don't want a piglin spawner. Looks like there's more stuff up there. Apparently those aren't connecting with anything. There we go. What, was I not allowed to put a light right there? Hey, look at that. Free weather skeleton skulls. I didn't even get far. I literally just got here and dug a hole. Hey, look at that. Just one skull. So now... Deep shelf. Now the next thing we need to do is make 2 echoing deep shelves, and I believe I have what I need to do that. There are those, and then... Let's see... Echoing deep shelf. And there we go. Got 2 of them. And with that, another gift of stone. Let's hope for something real good. That is something real good. I am immediately going to put that bad boy in. Yes, give me that experience. Now, this guy is way quicker. Show you what I mean in just a second. Just so you can see. And here's the other thing. I'm going to put a fuel efficiency upgrade on it, which slows down its cook time, which is what I had on the other one anyway. But that's with it slowed down. Yeah, the netherite furnace was a massive upgrade for us. Like that. Go to the enchanter. And complete the stage. We've already had everything unlocked here for a minute. But now... we're going to be putting 4 of those deep shelves and those 2 echoing deep shelves into the world engine. Aw, yeah. What's a little enchanting setup in the back for it? I don't 100% sure know why they stick an enchanting setup into the world engine, but I guess it's just to have a little of everything. But now we've completed all 3 of these, and our next step is to go back to spawn and talk to the initial Echo of Guidance. Completed. Chapter 2 complete. And with that, we also unlock the ability to straight up buy random data modules, which is pretty nice. We also unlock the end ring ender shards, so for those teleporters I was using, I can now go to the end rings instead of just nether. And that will be the next step. I need to get some end stones so we can get some draconium. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to be rapidly working into soon. But as for now, I don't think I'm going to buy anything from him. What I am going to do is now we've completed this section. I've maxed out my own unearther level, so that's nice. But we need to go find the Infernal, the Catalyst, and the Lightbender for our next 3 NPCs that are going to get us into some pretty crazy stuff. This is going to get us full blown into automation and machines. This is going to get us into magic, and we're going to have to fight a big boss. This one over here, I believe, yeah, this will get us some kind of cool metal that you start out with in liquid form. But most of this is all just like cranking into the mid/end game crafting, getting us prepared for all of that. And we'll get into that next episode. Oh, I don't know where I'm going. We're going to go find these NPCs before the end of this episode, though. Oh, right. There is one thing I did forget, and I forgot to do this last episode, so I do have to go home. So, one of the things for the world engine, I completely forgot to add on upgrade. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now in here. I believe it was right here. I never got around to doing this. This is the glass we made after we did the portal dungeon. Yeah, look how much it goes in here. Like, we were missing a massive section of the world engine. Look at this. That glass is like pretty much the entire core. But yeah, we're starting to get an actual body on this thing. All that, we've got our enchanting stuff on the back of it now. We've even got create stress that we can put into it. Yeah, things are getting pretty cool though. But yeah, now that I've done that, now we do need to go look for those other 3 new NPCs. Now these ones I believe are just right over here. No, it was on the other side. Because our regular ones are right here. Here we go, yeah, the Infernal, the Catalyst, and I believe the other one's over there. So now with the Infernal, all nethery. Did I walk through fire? Oh no, one of my bow things did. Slay the Guardian within the Inferno Vault and gather what you need to craft 12 spirit blocks. Now, go right across the way to the Catalyst, which is all endy. End stuff. Draconium. Giant explosive orbs. Okay, cool. Don't touch them. So then, yeah, this guy's got the ME Infinity Water Cell, which is going to be nice too, because once we get our ME network set up, I can stick this in there, and it'll just be an endless water source for us to pull from for anything. And then he wants me to craft an Ender Cell Nitro, which is something I also would like to craft. What that is basically the basis for our wireless power setup, and it is also a very, very large power battery. But now here is the light bender. Still kind of some end stuff, but mostly it's like stone and like, oh, here we go. Yeah, it's what was this called? Yeah, it's mechanism, yes, but duplication or replication. It's basically making free stuff, or kind of free. You can make literally anything. You can buy the straight up max pipe upgrades from this guy. Night vision upgrade. But his thing we're going to be working on is that Fortron infused ingots from the Fortron vault and craft 4 Fortron infused blocks. Alright, and with that we've got our first major setup put into Enchanting. This will evolve over time and get much, much higher because we will be able to get the Eterna up to like 100, and a lot of the other things really, really high as well, and we can get some really crazy enchantments out of it. So I will be consistently coming back and doing little bits here and there. I'll probably do anything additional here off screen, and I'll just kind of briefly explain it for you guys later when I do it. Same thing with some of the chicken stuff until we get into really pushing into making the chicken stuff a lot bigger, which speaking of, I did do something with chickens. I got all the dye chickens. Every single color of dyes are being automatically made now, on top of feathers and eggs. Those are all tier 1. But if you enjoyed what you saw, you learned something new maybe, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. I hope you do. Leave some love, leave some hate. Do what you will, do what you do. Whatever the case may be, at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you have a good one.